Hello everybody, Argent here with a review of Venom Let There Be Carnage, the second in the Venom series of movies. And I remember when I saw the first one, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great, I didn't think it was bad, it was okay. It's better than like 90% of Marvel movies. They really are trying to capture the whole kind of like Sam Raimi thing with the like mixture of action and camp and a little bit of heart thrown in. And the first one I think was okay for that. This one did a much better job. This did very much feel like a Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, just with Venom instead of Spider-Man. And there's a good way and a bad way to do fan service. Fan service done poorly feels like it's a desperate attempt to just get the viewer to like your crap and to just like a cynical cash grab to play upon people's fondest emotions. And when fan service is done right, it feels like a love letter written, just appreciation, how much you like your audience, how much you appreciate their support. And this feels very much like the latter. People have been wanting a movie with Venom and Carnage together since the Spider-Man movie started back in the Sam Raimi days. And we got it. And they delivered. People wanted Venom, and people wanted Carnage, and people wanted to see them fight. And they delivered on it. So, I'll go into the plot a bit, but overall, I gotta give the movie 2 thumbs up for the simple fact that it didn't lie to me. I was promised Venom and Carnage fighting, and I got that. I got a lot of that, and it was awesome. So, this is a sequel to Venom. I actually kind of like that everything's been established at the beat already, and we don't have to kind of go through all the stuff from the previous film, like setting up who Venom is, setting up who Eddie is, that kind of thing. We already know Eddie's a loser, failed journalist. Venom's a loser, failed alien who's living with Eddie. And so rather than kind of have some of the introductory stuff the first movie had, we have like slice of life odd couple stuff with Venom and Eddie, where we see them trying to live in an apartment together, and Venom's kind of funny because he's kind of like the domestic, almost woman in the relationship. And he keeps like trying to tell Eddie to get his life together and that kind of thing. And they just have a really funny relationship. And Venom just kind of wisecracks and does things that embarrass Eddie in real life. Overall, it's just, the dynamic is really good. Once again, the sense of humor is very Sam Raimi-ish, which is massively to this film's credit because I love Sam Raimi. So we have the slice of life stuff with like them making breakfast together and things like that, and Venom kind of henpecking him a little. And then Eddie Brock gets asked to go and interview Cletus, played by Woody Harrelson, who does a great job. So Woody Harrelson basically plays himself, like he always does. Eccentric, sort of schizo, serial killer. And he does a good job. He's really scary. He's really fucking weird. And basically he tells Eddie like all this just schizo stuff. And it turns out that he has like a GF who has the ability to project like sonic screams that can destroy stuff, I guess. And they were in the same asylum together or something, and then they got split up, and she got taken to some sort of like New Mutants-esque facility where they were experimenting on her. Also, she was criminally insane and a psychopath. And Cletus wants her back. He's his waifu. They want to become the supernatural serial killers together. So yeah, so that's kind of his plot. Now Eddie's able to figure out by looking at some of the drawings on Venom is on Cletus's wall, that where the bodies are buried of his victims. So they find them, and then they can convict Cletus of the other crimes that he's committed. And after they've convicted him of the other crimes, he's going to be executed. So Eddie shows up, and Eddie gets provoked by Cletus, who bites him, and he winds up biting off a piece of the symbiote. So when he gets executed, he turns into Carnage. Or rather, he develops the Carnage symbiote. He develops the Carnage symbiote. And so Carnage looks kind of like Venom, but is bigger, less kind of humanoid looking, and has tentacles coming out of his back. Kind of almost like an homage to Doc Ock. And Woody Harrelson behaves pretty much like how you would expect a serial killer who has a symbiote that likes to eat people behaves. He just goes on a murderous rampage. And once again, it's very much kind of like the comedic schizo serial killer thing. He finds his wife who and breaks her out, and they go on a murderous rampage. And so a bunch of other stuff happens. Just a lot of Venom goes to a nightclub. He gets Eddie tells him to leave, so Venom leaves his body and goes to a nightclub. And it's like some people think it's just a really good costume or something, and he gives this really awkward, cringy speech about accepting aliens and people who are different or something. And then ultimately, though, he goes back to Eddie so they can face down Carnage. So Cletus and Carnage manage to kidnap a priest, and they're going to have they literally call it a red wedding, where they're going to get married, and then after that's done, Cletus is going to give, I think they called her Screamer, although her name's Frances, the cop from the prologue who blew out her eye with a gun. It's not particularly important. And then we get like a 20-minute fight scene between Venom and Carnage, where basically Venom just gets his ass kicked for most of it. Eventually he's able to kind of come up with some sort of bullshit plan, and in combination with the girl's screaming powers, a bit of help from his ex-fiancée and her fiancé, they succeed in killing Venom. They succeed in killing Carnage, which leads us to the single best scene in the entire movie. So Venom eats Carnage, and then Cletus is there, and Cletus is like, Eddie, all I ever wanted was to be your friend. And then Venom just goes, fuck this guy, and eats him. It's just like, I thought they were gonna do like if you kill me, you become me, or some like nonsense like that, and Venom just eats him. And then they run away, and the movie ends with them sitting on a beach somewhere. I think it's called, Venom wants to call himself the Lethal Protector or something like that. But overall, just a lot of fun. Once again, not a great movie, but I was promised Venom and Carnage beating the shit out of each other, and it delivered. I was promised Venom wisecracking and getting into odd couple fights with Eddie Brock, and it delivered. So, I don't know. I'll give it credit, it didn't lie to me. A lot of movies lie to you and mislead you, but You get what you see and you get what you pay for.